Eric, we are going into game 4 this week. Looking back a few months ago, did you even think we would be here?
It is crazy to think about how, like, a few months ago we were all at home just trying to stay in shape, didn't know really what the future was going to hold for us. And now that we're here going into game 4, it's really just a blessing for us to be here and being able to play the game that we love.
When you found out that, okay, football season, it's on, it's happening, what went through your mind?
It was just finally like something is normal again. You know, back in March when everyone had to leave, everything felt like, what is going on? Like the world's coming to an end type of thing. But when football came back together, it's like everything is normal. We can live our lives kind of normal, this new normal that we're going through, and we can play football. It definitely feels a little different. You know, you're playing 10 SEC games, you know, it counts more now, but it's still football at the end of the day, and it's fun playing it.
I want you to look back on your freshman season. How would you describe it?
My freshman season, I feel like it was kind of a roller coaster. Started high, went low, then came back up high. So I felt it was a good learning experience for me, just learning how to be a college football player.
When you hit that freshman wall, as you called it, I want you to walk me through that whole process and what that was like having to go through that difficult time.
Yeah, it's like, and I kind of talk about to the freshmen now, it's kind of like that mental wall you hit where you're used to being the man on your team. You're used to coming to high school, you're the big dog, but now you're here and you're like, wow, I'm not playing as much, I'm not doing the things I imagined I wanted to do, and it's kind of like just the mental aspect of the game. I had to sit there and like be in my room and realize, okay, I have to watch film, I have to come in and do extra, I have to stay later and do extra, different things like that to prepare me to be ready to play on the field.
Do you remember which game or practice it was when you realized you were kind of hitting that wall?
Yeah, it was definitely after the Florida game. It was a tough loss for us after that game, and I just felt like that's when I just hit the wall, when I was like, now what is going on, you kind of like reevaluate yourself. And then after that game, I wasn't getting as much play time as I wanted to get after those games. But it was just like, I talked to my mom all the time about it. My mom was my role model. She was telling me, you have to keep going through it. You're gonna keep going through it until you get over it.
Who were some of the people that, besides your mom, that encouraged you and helped you through that time?
It was a lot of different people. Coach Yak was a major player in helping me through that time. Coach Rump actually was a great influence on my life during that time. Those two people and my family and my friends, my roommates, Q and Henry and Brian Maurer, all those guys were there for me at that time.
Missouri, that was the game that you said, okay, I'm back. So walk me through that moment when you finally realized, okay, this is football.
Yeah. So before the Missouri game, I was praying and I told God, I said, whether this is like my breakout game or is this a game where I learn another lesson, I'm gonna give it everything I got. And I felt like I went out there and I kind of got my swagger back against Missouri. I don't know what happened, it was just like I went out there and I was like, okay, this feels like me again. And then the next game was Vanderbilt, and it was history from there.
Yeah, you did pretty well against Vandy. Do you remember which play it was in the Missouri game?
It was actually a blitz play. The linebacker blitzed off the edge, and I picked him up off the edge, and I looked to the sideline to Tim Jordan, and we both started beating our chests at each other. And that was like, I'm back. My swagger's back.
Handoff to Gray. There he goes in the open field. He's got a long way to go. Give him 94 yards. Get used to seeing number 3, folks.
You know, going through all that and being able to finish the season out on a high note, being the Gator Bowl MVP, you know, you said you imagined that moment in your head. What was that like for you?
It was amazing, and it was just like me and my mom after that game. My mom was like, I told you all you got to do is keep going, keep striving, keep letting God lead the way in your life, and you will be successful. And that's ultimately what I did, and I was like, it was just a testament. It was just a true blessing for me.
Onside kick, Tennessee has a chance, and Gray gets it. Paxton Brooks with a perfect dribbler, and Tennessee's got the momentum now.
Coming into this season, the home opener against Missouri, you had 2 touchdowns in that game. You played really well. Do you think it's kind of funny that, you know, our home opener is Missouri and that was the game last season that you finally got your groove back?
I didn't really think about it until you just said it, but it is interesting that it's kind of got my groove back because it's kind of this season too. South Carolina was kind of a slow game, you know what I'm saying? But Missouri went out with a bang, so it's kind of like you're getting your swagger back again.
You said that you have been trying to talk to the freshmen because you know that, you know, some of them might be hitting that wall that you did or they might do it. What are some of the things that you tell them?
I just tell them to keep striving. You know, as a freshman, like I said, you're used to being the guy. when you come in and you're not that guy, that takes a toll on you. You gotta learn that what it takes to be successful, because those things that made you great in high school aren't the same things that are gonna make you great in college. And you gotta learn that, and that's kind of what I'm trying to tell them, kind of what I'm trying to influence them and let them know that everything's gonna be okay. Just keep working, keep grinding hard.
And this season, you and Ty, you guys are the guys. So does that feel any different knowing that, okay, last year, I might not have been the guy at first, but this year you are?
Yeah. I mean, it definitely puts a lot of pressure out there, but that's what we live for. You live for the pressure, you live for being the guy. You wanna be the guy. That's ultimately why I came here, to be the guy.
We have 60% of the season to go, so a lot more football to play. Where's your head at?
My head is just to keep going. We got a lot of football left to play. Don't get too high, don't get too low. Just keep striving forward and keep playing hard.